What's up, people? It's John here from JJSC Tech. I see you, Kev, from Capture Productions. Um, this stream is mostly for you, mostly dedicated for you. You gave me the idea. So how the story came about with this stream, well, before I get to that, how are you guys doing when you guys see this? Hopefully your family is good. Hopefully you're good mentally and etc. Yeah. So how I got to this stream idea. Now, for those who know me, I like boom microphones. I like the way boom microphones sound. I like regular condenser microphones. I like those type of microphones. I don't really like lavaliers. Now, the reason being is that I'm not that good at lavaliers, you know? So it's kind of a weakness, but if you know kind of like the basics of like EQ and then etc., it can sound pretty good. So my man Kev right there, Capture Productions, he's also another cinematographer, and yeah, we need to start back up that show, Cinematographer's Corner, so you can give your opinions on many of the cameras you shoot with and the lenses and stuff. But long story short, he uses a lot of lav microphones recently, and he's been telling me, hey man, you got to use these lav microphones. I'm like, I'm not a lav microphone guy, but he's like, hey man, these lav microphones, they're much easier. You don't got to walk around with a boom and etc., learn them and etc. So I'm like, all right. I'm gonna get into it. And the funny thing is, the last job that I did, the last client, I used a lav microphone. I used two lav microphones actually. I don't know how it turned out because it sounded really good in the mix pre and etc. But I send it off to an editor to edit the sound and etc. But today we are going to put this to the test. We are going to use a lav microphone. We're going to record it, and we are going to edit it and compare and contrast how it sounds coming out of the lav and after some edits to make it sound, obviously it won't sound like this microphone, but it should sound closer to my voice. And you can take those same principles and add it to yours when you're using a lav microphone, you know? So here are the things that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the Sennheiser, that's right here, the Sennheiser G4. This is my go-to lavalier system that I use. I love these things. They work well. You can change the frequency if you're like in an airport location and a lot of frequencies have a lot of static or a lot of interference on them. You can just change it with this and you're good to go. And I'm going to be using this lavalier right here. This is the Sennheiser MKE2. Pretty good lavalier. And I have like a cap on it as well. This comes with Sennheiser. So yeah, it's just a short cap. And we're gonna see how it sounds. So right now what I'm gonna do, I have it hooked up into the Apollo, and I'm going to turn them on. Well, first I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. First of all, let me open up the Apollo. Maybe that will help, huh? All right, boom. And let me change the screen. Boom. So you guys can see that. All right. So right here, this is my main microphone. And right here in line SM7B, this will be the lavalier right here. So let me turn that on. And I won't put on any processors or anything of that nature because I want it to be raw. And that way I can record it and we can go to isotope and see what it does. All right, cool. So let me mute this. Let me plug in the lavalier and keep your eye on this right here, on this channel. This channel should become active when I start to plug it in. Dun, dun, dun. And now it's plugged in. And it's on. Testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Of course it's not on, you know? What is this? Line level? Should it be mic level? Oh, can you guys hear that? Testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can hear it. So line level works. It just needs a ton of gain. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, nah. Testing, testing. Nah, it gotta be mic level. Testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing. Okay, so let me kill this mic. Kill my main mic, and this is the mic that I'm using now. I probably sound OD low. You probably can't even hear me. Okay, so, as you hear, there's a lot of noise. But the important thing is that it's working. You know what? I can actually turn up the gain. I can actually turn up the gain on the lavalier system itself. As you see, on the lavalier system itself, let me switch this real quick. On the lavalier, now this is a brand new system. Haven't really played with it as much. I usually use my other one since most of the time I only use one lav system. So this one is fresh out the box actually. So what I will do is I will set the sensitivity. Oh yeah, the sensitivity is minus 30 dB. So we're gonna crank this up to probably minus 18 and set that. Now, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let me mute this main mic. Let me testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it sounds really crazy because it's like, you know, right here by my mouth. So let's kill that, and let's lob it to my shirt like the usual way I would have it. I will put it underneath right here, boom. And then I have this clip right here that comes with Sennheiser. So I'm gonna clip it in here and just make a small little loop and pin it on to my hoodie. I'm actually missing a piece. Yeah, I'm missing a small little clip-on piece. Right, boom. Small little clip-on piece. Put the lavalier in here. Okay, cool. As long as I killed it and you're not hearing all of this ruffling. So other ways you can do this is that you can, now depending on what mic you have, you might have the Sanken COS 11D or even this Sennheiser right here. There's certain squishy, they're like rubberized. Hold on. Let me, instead of saying the wrong thing, let me pull up a Chrome window. And let me go to Sanken, Cos 11D. And let me put accessories. Wind protection, furries, microphone mounts. It's like small little, like foam little things that you slip the mic into. Okay, here it is. It's a rubber mount for the Sanken Cos 11D. So let me show this real quick. So something like this. Is an underside, and you can like slip the microphone in that, and then you can like tape it to the person's chest. If you and that kind of removes the rubbing sound against the clothes and etc. So yeah, I don't even think it's that one. It doesn't really look like that, but you get the point. Let me do Sennheiser NKE 2. Sennheiser has its own one because the one for Sanken, you can't use it with the Sennheiser. So it just depends on the microphone that you have. Concealer, yeah, here it is. It's similar to this. So you would slip the microphone inside of that. Now you see it's really small, and you can tuck it right underneath the shirt on the chest, and this will help with the rubbing sound, and it's completely hidden. Yeah, these are really good, super good. And you see that's how it looks at the back. You put the microphone in here, but we don't have that. We do not have that, so we're gonna use the clip right here, and we're gonna clip it into this, wrap it around, make a little loop-de-loop. And pin that. Boom. That way, you probably can't see anything, but you can position this so it's just a loop and the lavalier system right here. There you go. Boom. That's how it is. So let's do some recording. Exciting part. All right, so let me show my screen again. Let's go to the I almost said mix pre, the Apollo. So let me kill this mic. Testing, 1, 2, 3, it's a little low. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The only thing is, yeah, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna fix all of that. So let's just get some recording. Yeah, let's just get some recording done. So what I will use to record this now is from Rogue Amoeba, which is audio hijack. Let's see. All right, so I will make a new recording. A new session. Boom. have it blank. System, I don't need you. All right, now I have to figure out which lines, which channels this microphone is coming through. And for that, I will use loopback. And then turn on this microphone. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Okay, it's coming through channel 36. Hold on, I wonder if I turn on phantom power. Testing, 1, 2, okay. Yeah, I wonder if I turn on phantom power. Well, it wouldn't matter. But it's beside the point. Channel 36. I already have them routed. Okay, so what I will do is go to audio hijack. And all I want to do is record. So I do an input device. Since I have my Apollo as the main input device, because that's where all my microphones are running. I have the Apollo and I want it to be saved as a WAV file. So I just scroll down, or up here I click recordings. No, that's where the recordings are already saved. Location, outputs, recorder. Yeah. So recorder, right now it's saved to MP3, but depending on what you have, or what recording device you have, most recording devices should allow you to save a WAV file, .wav. The reason you want to save a WAV file when recording is because a WAV file is uncompressed. MP3, whatever else they have, is compressed audio, and you don't want to start editing starting with the compressed audio. So right here, what I'm going to do is change this, change the quality to uncompressed, custom, and then I will hit a WAV file. 16-bit, I'll do 24-bit. I don't need to. You can also record 32-bit from here as well. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Even though most audio recorders do 32-bit. Now, here's the thing about 32-bit float. Let's shout out Walter Jeanette, because Walter Jeanette is he be getting at the people for everything must have 32-bit float. Now, 32-bit float is really good, meaning it has a high dynamic range and it's very hard to clip any audio with 32-bit float. The issue with 32-bit float is that a lot of people tend to be lazy when it comes to using 32-bit float, meaning that they have the mentality of just set it and forget it. That means they'll plug it in and let the person record. They're not listening to see if it's gain staged properly or anything of the sort. They'll say, I'll just fix it all in post. The issue with fixing it in post, if you are the person who is doing the post production, is that because it's coming in bad at the source, you're going to have to do a whole lot of things to try to fix it in post to make it sound a bit better. Yes, it can be done with 32-bit float. It just takes a little bit more time. Versus if you try to get it 3/4 of the way as good at source, it'll make your editing life way better. Now, for my scenario, the audio isn't, this place isn't 100% acoustically treated, but is a little bit acoustically treated. So the audio won't be that bad and the noise floor wouldn't be that high. So I'll just do 24-bit. And plus I'm not yelling Yeah, 16-bit. No, I kind of stay away from that. Okay. Okay, that looks good right there. Okay, so set its wave. So let me just set my channels. Advanced, default. It was 36, right? And since I want it in stereo, I'll put left and right as channel 36. Is it 36? Let me double check. Because I think this annoying one right here is 35. Let me look at it. Okay, yeah, it's 36. Cool. All right. So let me kill this mic and let me do a quick recording. And let's use that file and then play around with it. All right. All right, so, whoa. How come this is so hot? Why is this so hot all of a sudden? Okay. All right, cool. Anyways, let's run this. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I looked at the bear and he just stood there and stared. Pause. Hey, see, I was talking a little louder and I was mostly using my normal voices. Oh, I'm sorry. Cut that bad mic. Well, it's not a bad mic. It's just, it doesn't sound as good. So I was mostly using my indoor voice, because if you're connecting a lavalier to the talent, you don't want them to yell and you don't want them to speak abnormal. You want them to speak normally, like they're just having a conversation with you, and then you set the proper gain levels so you can hear them properly. The issue with 32-bit float is that your room might not be treated as much, and you might record it really, really low. And when you add gain, you hear a ton of noise. Because your noise floor is pretty high, because you got something running in the background. You probably have a fan and etc. Get it right at the source. At least get it 3/4 right away at the source. It'll make your editing life much easier. All right, so let me see what that sounds like. See what that file. Boom. Let me get the file first and let me put it on the desktop. That should be audio hijack, and today's date. Is it this? Am I really doing too much? I'm trying to no, it's not that. What? One moment. The blunders of live stream. Where did it save that file? Okay, hold on. A quick way is go to recordings, inspect. Okay, that seems fine. Let me play from here. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I looked at the bear and he just stood there and stared. Pause. What just happened? Why did the noise increase? Okay, let's record again. And I gotta figure out where these files are saved. Audio hijack. Let me find that file. But see, that's the reason you should be monitoring your audio, because if you're doing 32-bit float and then all of a sudden you get home or you send it to your editor and then your audio is like that, the noise floor just increasing out of nowhere, you're like, what? You're going to be paying your editor more money, I guarantee that. So, nah, real talk, where is this audio file? Hold on. Let me sort this by date added. There it is. I don't know why it was so hard to find. Okay, so right here. That was the file. I'll just put them in the folder on the desktop. All right, let's record this again because that was not good whatsoever. Maybe the gain is too high. Let's turn down the gain a bit because 47 is a little OD. Let's try 43. All right, let me kill this mic. And I'm using this mic right now. Testing 1 2 1 2. All right, cool. Boom, boom, boom. Let's record again. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I looked at the bear and we just stood there and stared. Bars. All right, let's see what that sounds like. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I looked at the bear and we just stood there and stared. Bars. Okay, that sounds normal. I don't, okay, so we're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna try to wrap our brains around why this one sounded like this. Oh, I moved it to the desktop. My bad. All right, let's move that out of the way. All right, so let's just get that file. I was walking down. Yep, that's the right file. Put it right here. And for the fun part, let's get isotope. Well, let's put those two in a folder. And let's call it maybe test audio. Oh, I'm still using a lavalier. My fault, people. Let me switch it back. Yeah, all right. So the audio is back to normal. Let me close audio hijack. Audio hijack's not working with me because it's still trying to find a file. Boom, quit. All right, test audio. Let me put that one file in there because we're not gonna use the other one. I was walking down the street and I saw a... You know what? Yeah, let's use the other one as well. Let's see what we can do with the other one. So let's say you didn't have a backup audio source and that bad one that we recorded, which was this one. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, stare. Yeah, let's use that one. Because there might be some interference used in 32-bit float you weren't monitoring, and that's the only audio file that you have for like a high-paying client and you need to fix it. Let's see what we can do. So I'll put this one as a red tag and I'll put this one as a green tag as the good one. So let's start with the good one. All right, we don't need this anymore. Boom, let's open up isotope. Now I use isotope to edit my audio. Reason being, it works well for me, you know? Use what works well for you. Isotope is kind of industry standard, not kind of, it is industry standard. It's what a lot of people use in Hollywood as well to clean up audio. It just works well. And it's kind of simple. I used to try to fix my audio and video together inside of Final Cut Pro because that's what I use. Some people might use Premiere, Adobe, and try to do everything in that one application. But I see better results and hear better results when I use this standalone audio application because Final Cut Pro is first a video editing software, the same as DaVinci, the same as Premiere. Video first. Everything else is an afterthought. They might do it pretty good, but remember, it's an afterthought. It's a video program first. This program right here is only audio, and that's all it does, and it does it really well. So let me kill that. Let me open the file. Desktop. Test. And the green one is the good one. Boom. All right, cool. So these are audio waves. Let's play it. Copy. You can't hear that because I wonder if I do streaming if it'll work. I always have this problem with Isotope. I always have this problem with Isotope and streaming. Input device. No, input device can be universal audio. My fault. Output device needs to be streaming because that's my loopback. And that's the thing. It doesn't pick up loopback, which sucks. Isotope, if you ever watch this, please allow virtual outputs for your output devices. I think it only does physical outputs, but please allow virtual outputs so we're able to route our audio to wherever. I don't know why you do this, but you need to fix it. I ain't gonna lie. All right, cool. So I guess I will have to click Universal Audio, and I will have to switch my audio in Ecamm to Universal Audio so both can hear it. All right, boom, boom, boom. Let's go. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear, and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me, and I looked at the bear, and we just stood there and stared. Bars. Why did I say bars like that? Anyways. All right, so highlight all of that. What are we gonna do first? It sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty okay. What I'm going to use is something called dialogue isolate. So what that will do is isolate. This is computer algorithm, and what it does is isolates my voice from everything else, all the noise and etc. Don't do it too aggressively because it'll definitely sound like you used AI. You just use it ever so much, so you don't lose any type of, basically you don't lose any type of natural sounds to your voice or any natural frequencies to your voice. Basically, do it until you start to sound robotic, and then pull it back so you don't sound robotic. So dialogue isolate. Bam. Let's do a preview so what it sounds like before and after. Or better yet, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear, and I was like, it's a bear. Now see when I said it sounded kind of crazy. Let me preserve some of the ambiance. Right now it's set to 65. Let me do the 75. Because that gasp needs to sound like a real gasp. And preview. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear, and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me, and I looked at the bear, and we just stood there and stared. Bars. All right, so my voice. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. My voice sounds fine. I can just try to isolate the gasp. And I was like, okay, so this is the gasp right here. So I can try to do everything around the gasp just to keep the gasp. All right, boy. There we go. Hit dialogue isolate. Because dialogue isolate at 65 ambiance is pretty good. So let's render that. And let's highlight after the gasp as well. And then render that. So if I play it now, you still hear the gasp. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I looked at the bear and we just stood there and stared. Bars. I was walking down the street. Let's do it without. Oh, what I did. So down here is the history of Isotope. So these are the two changes, and the cool thing about Isotope, I can compare and contrast. So this is the initial state before I made the changes. So if I don't like it, I can just start from scratch and then add things after it. Or if I have like 4 different plugins that I added, I can just go back to probably like the 3rd one because I didn't like how the 4th one made my voice sound, and then do some edits and start from the 4th one instead of undo. It's a cool feature. So I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Okay, yeah. You need proper headphones. You need headphones. Like if your core audience or if your client is listening mostly on headphones, get proper headphones. Yeah, you can get studio monitors if people are listening to it in like on a TV with speakers, or if they're listening to it in a auditorium, anywhere with a massive amount of people listening to it. You should get like studio monitors so you can hear how it sounds on studio monitors. But if it's like individual, most people are listening to like on headphones and stuff, get a good pair of monitoring headphones. Not like Beats, because Beats have a low end bump, and Bose as well has that. They're already EQ'd. Get something that's close to flat so you can actually hear what these things sound like. So let me put back the changes. It's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I looked at the bear and we just stood there and stared. Bars. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, what it actually did is got rid of the click, because this camera right here, my webcam, it autofocuses, but the lens isn't as quiet, so it sounds like a mouse gnawing at something. So it got rid of that. It didn't really take away from my voice either. So what I'll do, I'll increase the volume of this. Now the way you do it, you don't have to follow this method of doing it whatsoever. Most people have a certain chain of editing. Like if I'm doing live mixing, I'll mostly do compression first and then EQ. Yeah. No, EQ first and then compression. What am I saying? I'll do EQ and then compression. In this, the voices that I do this professionally for, it sounds better when I EQ last. So play with it, you know? Like if you EQing first and then adding dialogue isolate and etc. sounds better, which I don't think you should do. Because if you EQ first before dialogue isolate, you will be EQing the signals and the noise and etc. So I think you should do dialogue isolate, which will cut out certain frequencies, and do EQ last, which will add back certain frequencies to the voice. So you see, the workflow is a little different when it comes to post editing versus live. Don't have to be though, but I mean, it works well for me. All right, so what I'll do next is loudness. because this is way too low. And now when I raise up when I increase the volume, you should hear a lot of background noise. So for this, I have the settings for YouTube, because YouTube needs to be louder than most other platforms. I don't know why the compression just hits audio and video crazy on YouTube. Not like Facebook though. Facebook's really bad. All right, so you see that bumped up everything. So basically, loudness control is a compressor. So it increases the lows and it shrinks. What am I saying? It increases the highs and increases the lows, but it compresses it at a certain level so it doesn't go over or go below. All right, so prepare your ears. Let's see what this sounds like. Boom. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I looked at the bear and we just stood there and stared. Bars. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Well, as you see, it didn't really get rid of the gnawing. So what I'll do, go back to the initial state and I will do the loudness first. Boom. Remember, I have to do the loudness for everything. Render, increase the volume. Is the top clipped? Let me see. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I was walking down the street. No, it's not clipped. I thought it was clipped. Hopefully it's not coming through clipped online, because online is going to sound different too. All right, so increase the loudness on everything. Where's the gasp? Because I want to keep the gasp. Okay, that's it right there. So right here, I'll do dialogue isolate to see how that sounds. Try to get rid of a lot of background noise. It might have to be a bit more aggressive since the levels were brought up. Let's do a preview. I was walking down the street. Yeah, it got to be more aggressive. 5.5. Let's do 7.5. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Oh boy. Let's put that back to 5.5. Let's try to take out more ambiance, because we want to get rid of that noise. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, all right, so that gets rid of the ambience. I was now ambience preservation depends on the scenario, or it depends on the location you're at. For a closed off location like this, yeah, you can get rid of a lot of the ambiance, because a lot of the ambiance is just the noise floor. What's going on in the background, just sounds that I don't hear with my naked ear. The microphone is picking up, like the fans in the Apollo and probably in the computer and etc. You want to cut out a lot of that. But if you're outside, you do not want to cut out a lot of ambiance, because it'll start to sound fake. Because if you're shooting a video with someone outside and you cut out all the background noise, and it just sounds like them, one is going to sound completely computerized and robotic, and two, it's just going to detach the user or the viewer from the story, because they're not hearing like birds, they're not hearing other people talking in the background, and etc. It's not going to sound as natural. Now, if there's a lot going on in the background, like honking cars, like if you're in the middle of like New York City on Fifth Ave, and you got sirens and all that stuff, try to go to a different location. But if you can't, you can cut out quite a bit of it using this, remove some of that background so you don't hear it as much, and then add that back in as like sound effects and etc. This is going to be more work though. That's what I say, try to get it right at the source. Do I want to stay at 32 though? I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, let's try 25. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, okay, so I'm now hearing that it's starting to take away from what my voice sounds like, and it's sounding a bit robotic. I can add back some of those frequencies in EQ to my voice, because my voice is more around, well, I'll show you where my voice lies. I don't want to be too aggressive with this though. I want to do less work in EQ. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, okay, 35 sounds the best. So render that. Can I make like flags and whatnot? Like, can I like highlight areas? Render, remove. Can I highlight two areas? It's a... No? I wish. We're gonna have to do something with this gasp and try to preserve it. All right, bro. All right. The rest of that, let's go as close to the gasp as possible. What's annoying is it's being mono. Okay, good. Oh, I can just do that. I can just hit the R right here. Okay, cool. Let's get more. Boom, left and right, and render that. That's the thing, when you're doing sections, it doesn't have to be that difficult. If it's the same voice. Oh, as you see, before there was a whole lot of, if you look at the spectrogram, you see how bright it is in certain areas, and then when I add the dialogue isolate, it remove a lot of those frequencies, or remove a lot of the noise and etc. Yeah, it makes it sound much more cleaner. Now the thing is, what was I saying before? Oh, yeah. Like if you're working on the same voice and you just do a section of the voice and make like tweaks, you can just highlight the rest of the section and just apply those same tweaks that you did. Issue with that might be if you're moving from one location to another location. Like if the person is walking and the atmosphere changed, that means the noise floor will change and etc. Yeah, it can get a little bit technical. It's just like if you're editing video. Like if you're in one location that you set up all the lights and the lights are fixed and you have controlling over all your lighting, you don't have to do any crazy edits or any exposure shifts. Now, if that person is walking from one room to another or walking from inside to outside, that's where it becomes a little bit more technical because your exposure will shift. So it's kind of like the same thing if you're walking from one location to a next. You're moving from a controlled space to an uncontrolled space. So yeah. Yeah, it's going to be hectic. All right, let's see how this sounds. And I was like, it's a bit. See how that sounds? And I was like, it's a bit. Takes away from the gas. And I was like, it's a bit. Now, this is going to be difficult. And I was like, it's a bit. And I was like, it's a bit. And I was like, it's a bit. I had that 5. And I was like, it's a bit. And I was like, it's a bit. And I was like, it's a bit. All right, so let's take away. And I was like, it's a bit. Let's do 30. And I was like, it's a bit. And I was like, it's a bit. No ambiance preservation. And I was like, it's a bit. I take that down. And I was like, it's a bit. Take it down a little bit more. And I was like, it's a bit. I can still hear noise. And I was like, it's a bit. But the gas still sounds natural. And I was like, it's a bit. And I was like, it's a bit. And I was like, 0? It's a bit. And I was like, it's a bit. Why can I still hear? And I was like, it's a bit. Compare and contrast, please. All right. This is the original. Let's hear the preview. I know that's annoying, but those are the things. And I was like, it's a bit. That was pretty annoying, but those are the things that you're gonna have to do if you want to be detailed and if you want your audio to sound as good as possible. Is this mic still on? Hopefully not. Let me turn this off. All right, cool. Turn that off. 6.5 preview. And I was like, 6.5 is still aggressive. Compare. Is there like a noise remover? 6.5 is still aggressive. Let's preview it. And I was like, it's a bit. Yeah, it can't go below 6.5. If 6.5 is still aggressive. 6.4. And I was like, golly. The importance of having your audio good at the source. Now, as I said, you can do 32-bit float, but if your noise level in the location you're at is very present, 32-bit float will not magically remove your noise in the room or your room tone. That's all I gotta say. Get it right at the source. Get it right at the source. Let me pause dialogue and let me see if I can do something like a de-hum. Because that noise, that background noise is a little OD. And I was like, it's a bit. And I was like, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Is it sensitivity? Let's have it a bit more aggressive. Compare. Preview. De-hum is not working. Let's have it a bit more sensitive. Or better yet, let me learn. And then compare it. Preview. Nope. De-hum is the wrong tool. I think de-hum usually, de-hum works a bit better with like machines, like a humming of a machine, like a, what you call it, like a AC. De-rustle is for outside, like de-wind, outside. Now you can get really technical with isotope. You can do like spectral recovery and spectral denoise. Let me try that. Let me see. Keep it as adaptive. Hold on, we might have something. That sounds a little good though. Let's render that. Because we can always go back. It's like, and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me. And I looked at the bear. And we just stood there. And I was like, gosh. It's a bear. And the bear looked at me. Bear. And I was like, it's a bear. Bear. And I was like, all right. Right here is a lot of noise. So I'm gonna just destroy this part right here. It's dialogue isolate. Or I can just like do like a gain and just take it down. Since it's a pause. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Just hit some gain and then take it down. Not too much though. It's like, it's a bear. Yep, that works. It's a bear. It's like, it's a bear. Not too much. It's like, it's a bear. 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 It's like, it's a. Okay, 8 sounds good. Let me just get this a bit closer. Boom. Let me preview that. Where's the gain? Where did it go? All right. Preview. It's like, it's a bear. 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 It's like, I know that's going to be stuck in y'all heads. It's a bear. And render that. Boom. Took that out. This is still too bright for me, but what time is it? Yeah, we don't have that much time. All right, so let's get to EQing it up. And I think I have a preset, but we're not going to use the preset. We're going to just start from right here. What I like to do is just highlight a bit instead, because if you have like something that's an hour long, you don't want to highlight the whole thing and keep playing the whole thing over and over in the loop. You just want to highlight bit by bit, fix that, and like I said, if it's all recorded in the same location, all you have to do is highlight a bit, because the person's voice, like, you know, doesn't change unless they're going really high and really low. Then you can probably do the whole thing. But highlight bit by bit and then EQ that part, and then you can just apply it to the rest of the area that you didn't highlight. And what I mean by if the person is going really high, you can do the whole thing. Still do a little bit, and then highlight the whole thing after, or highlight the rest of the location. I don't know what I'm saying. Still do a small portion, just like this. And then you can highlight everything else and then apply the EQ. The same rule kind of applies. That's if you have a really long dialogue, like an hour and etc. If it's like 5 minutes, you can kind of highlight the whole thing. But that's what I'm saying. You have to monitor your audio. Now, if you're monitoring your audio on set, you would be able to hear if the person is screaming, or if you hear something weird at like a minute or 3 minute mark, you'd be able to make a note or a mental note that, okay, here is where I have to fix. Versus you just stick a recorder onto the person. You're not listening to anything. You don't know what is going on. You're going to have to sit at home and then go through the entire audio clip and make sure it's fine. And then it's a lot of work that you have to do. If you want good audio, that is. So let me preview. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I need a bit more body. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Not too much though. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. What if I cut? I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I... So what I'm basically doing, as I'm making adjustments, I'm listening to it. That's the same thing that you're going to have to do. What you're listening for is small little defects in the voice. So you're either going to be taking away or adding, because when I did a lot of the dialogue isolate, it took away a lot, or a bit from my voice. So I'm adding back a bit of the body with 1 right here. So the bass in a person's voice is mostly around the 100 to 200 area. But you don't want to put too much unless it's going to sound a little artificial. Especially when I was doing that the W sound, you can hear a bit more of the bass, which is a little unnatural. I don't know how to explain it. It kind of sounds a little tinny. So you want to cut out a bit of that so it sounds natural. Because remember, people are going to be playing this audio on multiple devices. You want it to sound good on everything. So the best way to attack audio is to make it sound as natural as possible. So that way, if they play on their speakers that has a lot of EQ, it can sound pretty balanced. Or if they play on the iPhone, it sounds pretty good. Whatever they're playing it on, it should start at a level. It should start close to neutral, but sound good, if that's making sense. You don't want it to be completely flat because a person's voice isn't completely flat, but a person's voice isn't very bright or very, very dark. Unless, I mean, there's some exceptions, like a person that speaks or sings bass, their voice usually is really, really low. The best way to put it, have a conversation with a person. The way your ear is hearing it, try to make it sound like that on the video. Try to make it sound like that. So no matter what you play on, it's going to sound really good. I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Whoops. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the... Okay, so that sounds pretty decent in the lows. Sometimes you just might have to cut, you know? So the mids now in this between 200 and 500, that's where you're going to attack, or between 200 and 600 rather, that's where you're going to attack the nasally sound. If someone is just speaking a lot in their nose, just like this, you can cut out a lot of that in this range. On the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw... Little adjustments. Little adjustments. You can't be extreme to hear where certain frequencies are, but you don't want that to be your end result. Like, let me make sure, like, where am I? So I'm frequency 433 and I'm at negative 2.6. Now, if I go extreme, saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. It's gonna sound crazy. So you can do the opposite actually and go all the way up to find certain frequencies. Like if you hear something in your ears and it sounds like a little crazy, you can go all the way up to find out where that frequency is. And then when you pinpoint it, cut back. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Actually, 2.9 actually sounds better than 2.7. Remember, the goal is to get the person's voice close to their actual voice. What you hear when you're having a conversation or having an interview with them, that's what you want to do, or that's what you want to replicate in editing. I don't really have anything in this range, 800. 2000 around here is where it can get a little sibilant. Now, if you are speaking to someone that has a really high voice, like someone that usually someone that sings soprano, well, not all sopranos. My wife just looked at me and she gave me the face because she's sibilant and she sings soprano. All right, yeah, I'm picking on her. Some guys are sibilant as well. So it's not only sopranos. Around here is where you would try to hit that out. And if they're like really sibilant, you'd better don't add anything about around 10K, because that's what I kind of like to do, to add a little bit of airiness to the voice. Preference. But if they're sibilant, you better not add that. You better cut. So we're going to play with the 10K area to see how it sounds, you know? I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Oh, that cue is crazy. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Causes it to be a bit more brighter. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. If you cut it out. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. Causes it to be darker. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. My voice sounds better. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear. I was walking down the street. All right, cool. That sounds pretty good. For my voice for right now, that sounds decent. And from here, boom. And I'm gonna just add the EQ, add the changes. The changes stay after you make it, so I can just hit render, boom. And that's the whole thing. And I want to do save as, so we can compare and contrast. Save as, fixed. And let's put a tag on it as well. So it's green, working with green. Bam. And let's pull that up right quick. Now let me change my stream audio so it sounds a bit better. Let's pick this on the desktop, working files. This is the original. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me and I looked at the bear and we just stood there and stared. Bars. In the fixed version, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me, and I looked at the bear, and we just stood there and stared. Bars. Yeah, it's much louder. I was walking down the street, and I saw a bear, and I was like, it's a bear. You know what? Let me just increase the volume of this one, so it can be. I was walking down the street, and I saw a bear. What did I do? I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me, and Apple Music, go away. Open with isotope. Let's just increase the volume, loudness. And then save that. I don't want to make this too long. So I am not going to do the other one. We're just going to work with this. Hold on. Someone is... Okay, cool. All right, so this is the original. I was walking down the street and I saw a bear, and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me, and I looked at the bear, and we just stood there and stared. Bars. Versus, I was walking down the street and I saw a bear, and I was like, it's a bear. And the bear looked at me, and I looked at the bear, and we just stood there and stared. Bars. As you see, the original one, no processing, no anything. That's what my voice sounds like with all the background. And with the fixed version, we preserved my voice so it can sound just like me, and we just remove a whole lot of the background, and we just added a little sprinkle of EQ to make my voice sound normal. Because when you use dialogue isolate and when you use a lot of these algorithms, it takes away the frequencies from your natural voice. So EQ, you just add them back after you make a lot of those adjustments, so your voice can sound like the original without all the background noise and stuff. So that's it. Make sure you tell me in that comment section what you think about this, and if you hear a difference. You shouldn't hear that much difference between the original and the edited version. You should only hear that the background was drastically removed. So let me know what you think. Let me know your comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. So like next week, we can get the ball rolling with something else. Let me know if you got any questions. Kev, are you still here? My man Kev from Capture Production, are you still here? No? He probably got hung up and was doing something. Let me wait a bit because this is delayed. A little background music. Nah. We do this. Yeah. No? He's not here? All right. So I'm gonna just catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace.